Fellas, imagine your child that you helped brought into this world, you raised for as long as you could, you did anything and everything for them, is now the same child you brought on this earth that is now turned against you. And 9 times out of 10, let's be upfront and real. It ain't the child's fault. For the child is being coerced by the moms, by your baby mama to turn against you. Yeah, picture yourself in this situation. But yep, it's me again. They hate us. This is why they make videos giving a fuck about us at the same time. As always, I am your host, JD Miles. The MGTOWs, they love to hate. Even the ones that claim everybody loves to hate them, loves to hate MGTOW at the same time as always, which is why they keep us relevant to this very day. And I'm back again. And yeah, I know it's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without another video to listen to. But hey, we all get burnouts, and we all need to take time off of YouTube to kind of like get ourselves back onto focus again. But I don't need no excuse to do this shit. But we got this man here who is trying to reach out to the younger generation of young men and boys, in which I have no problem with that, but some retarded fucks do. In which, of course, I agree with everything he's saying. To the younger generation, if you don't have kids, be careful who you have kids by. And also be careful not to have your child be used against you. And this is what this man is warning the younger generation of men about. But before I go any further, shout out to MTR, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. I'll leave the link to his full video in the comment section. Go check him out. But enough of me talking. Let's get down to business, shall we?
But I was that like no matter what was going on, that her dad still loved her enough to keep trying to have a relationship with her. Mm-hmm. I'm not convinced that this is my daughter sending this email. I'm holding out hope that this isn't her and that it's my ex-wife just doing what she does. But if you're a young man watching this and you don't have any kids yet, please be careful who you have a child with. You don't ever want to go through this or like feel this pain.
And he ain't lying neither. If you are young, if you have no kids, but you are planning to have them, be careful who you have kids by. Because ain't no telling how who's going to influence them besides you. Will their own mother use them as a weapon against you? And yes, there are many cases of mothers out there using their own children, their very own children, as a weapon against their fathers. And believe me, it's not a pretty sight. But let's continue on.
I've been dealing with this type of stuff for about 17, 18 years now, trying to co-parent with her mom. But I'm putting this out there because I don't feel like men my age and older really talk about this stuff. So men that are younger than me don't get to learn lessons without going through them, right? So
and this is why we do this for. This right here is why we do this shit for. Fuck what these retarded fucks is talking about. This is what actually matters out here. Spreading awareness and helping the younger generation of men and boys avoid these traps and snares. This is what it's really about. Don't let none of these retarded fucks convince you otherwise. Let's continue.
That's why I'm putting this up. It is Men's Mental Health Month. It is also Father's Day weekend. And I'm actually tired of being silent about this because no one should be going through this with their child, especially in a situation where, like, there's been no abuse, there's been no violence at all, and I'm just expected to pay child support and disappear. And I'm not going to do that.
So basically, and this is just my take on it. This is just my take on it. This is my take on the matter. Basically, from what I gathered is the relationship is over. I want to say that his baby mom chose to end the relationship and chose to be a single mother by choice, but that's too early for me to assume that, nor I am going to assume that, but this is just how I'm picturing the situation. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying this is a fact. But this is from what I'm gathering right now, and I can be wrong. And unlike other retarded fucks, I can admit when I'm wrong. But until then, all I could do is just give my take and give my own opinion on it. But let's continue.
You know, the brother said something very interesting there. He said that he's not convinced that this is his daughter. And he thinks that it is the work of her mother. My opinion is that physically, it is his daughter that is sending this. Because if not, there's plenty of opportunities to have more than just email conversations where they go unresponded, FaceTime calls, for example. Nevertheless, although physically it probably is his daughter, mentally, and I see this in so many of these cases, it is the mother. Stories like this never hit mainstream. So first and foremost, I salute this man for...
And nine times out of 10, is her mother who's coercing. Is her mother who's coercing his daughter to send messages like this. And yes, you got single mothers out there that will try to convince their own children that their fathers ain't shit. Believe me, I've seen way too many cases of that, but let's continue.
For detailing, giving us an account of what is going on in his situation, because as of right now, you could tell that he is a tired man at his line. And right now, he doesn't know if there's another option out here from him. He's not upset that he has to pay child support. He's upset at the well poisoning that the mother has conducted on the daughter, in effect, to turn the daughter on the father. But he's absolutely right, and it echoes a major sentiment that I've had on this channel ever since its inception: who you choose to have children with. And by I say choose, if you're going raw dog in these women, you are making an active decision, because as men, we have no options at the point of conception. As the way it is in the law right now, it is 100% up to her whether or not that child gets carried to full term. And it is not up to you if you can financially separate from the situation, because she will hearken the government to force you to pay, potentially. That's why I will always maintain on this channel to protect yourself at all times. Wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up. Because if not, and if the situation with the child's mother goes astray, then this brother's story may be your own. What I also often find within these situations, and kind of what
And don't ever think it won't happen to you. Because there was a lot of men out there that thought the same way and ended up in that same position. MTR has a very solid point on that. Let's continue.
kind of what he's alluding to is that there is no type of violence anywhere near the situation, but the child being utilized as not only leverage or not only a pawn to control the man, but also as a pawn to hurt that man if they like that. And if they cannot beat you physically, then they'll try to beat you mentally, often coming at the thing or the person that you love on this planet the most. I can't even imagine what this brother
The
is going through right
child.
now, but I want him to know that we support you over here, my guy. And if you ever want to come up on this platform, maybe not to talk about this situation in particular, because I can understand it's extremely sensitive, but also what are the key red flags? What are the key indicators that you wish that you knew before choosing this woman to be the mother of your child? He's got something written over here as well in the comments. Let's read it and let's see if we can learn anything else. I have been quiet about this for a long time. My ex-wife, okay, he was married to her, has violated our visitation and custody agreement in some way every year for the last 16 years. When I got this email the other day, I felt so dejected and helpless. Chloe is going to be 18 in 1 month. And it is my hope that I can finally start to have a relationship with her without her mom's interference. So it explains why he was sending all of these emails, because he's prepping, he's getting ready. But to his chagrin, the mother has allegedly, in my opinion, done a lot of well poisoning to ensure that the daughter never has communication with the father. Since I've been cut off from visitation for the last 5 years, I have no idea what's going on or what is being said to Chloe. I'd love to also know why visitation has been cut off. Sometimes it could be due to technicalities. Maybe the other person has moved, right? Maybe there was something within a court order that was missed, so then you lose visitation completely. So I'd be interested to know what is the reason for that. But it's not right. I'm going to...
And yeah, that right there hurts a father to his core. Not only that you don't even have visitation to see his own child, but also have your own child being used against you. That right there will rock any father to their core. This is why I'm making the assumption that the baby mama wanted to be single by her own free will, by her own choice. Especially if the father wants to be in his children's lives. And yes, as you can tell, I'm trying to hold back from going off. Because as a father myself, it disgusts me when situations get to this point. But let's continue.
Going to keep sending her emails in the hopes that she will see them and will want to reconnect with me. Let's read some of the comments. Bro, we've spoken before, but not recently. You know my story, and I'm sorry that you're going through this. Love you, man. I know sharing this took a lot. I'm definitely not going to keep quiet on this anymore, he said. There's no question.
I'm not gonna go through all. I'm not gonna play all the comments here, but I'm gonna stop this right here. There's a reason why, out of all the types of single mothers, there's a reason why single mothers by choice are the least respected, especially in situations such as this, where you have a father who's fighting to be in their children's life, and it is clear to see that the mother not only keeping him away from his child, but turning his child against him. And 9 times out of 10, she's probably coercing his daughter to believe that he is a deadbeat, just like all those other single mothers by choice. But when we talk about situations such as this, we're the ones in the wrong. When we talk about situations such as this, we're attacking single mothers. No. If they're single mothers by choice, then they deserve each and every ounce of it. No. They ain't single mothers because they're widowed, and which, of course, single mothers out there that are widowed have more. Everybody has more sympathy. Let's just put it like this: everybody has more sympathy for a single mother who is widowed more than a single mother who chooses to be a single mother, who chooses to refuse to let the father be in their children's lives. And that's all I'm gonna break down on this shit. And yeah, it disgusts me that it has to go this far off the gate. But I'm gonna stop the video right here. And once again, shout out to MTR Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. If y'all want to watch this full video in its entirety, I'll leave the link in the comment section. Go check it out. Tell them JD Miles sent you. But that's all I got for tonight. And yeah, over here, we're gonna present his story out here too. In fact, stories like this need to be brought to the forefront, to not just let the younger generation know about this, but to also let any man out there who has no children but plans to have some in the near future, be careful who you have children by. Off the gate. With that being said, I said what I had to say. I'm done, and I'm out this bitch. Later.